Welcome back to Chess Comic, everyone. Today was a pretty good day on the rapid battlefield, because I played five rapid games. Oh, not this is not. Oh, this one, five rapid games, and I won four out of five. But honestly, it should have been five out of five. Because I was actually doing great with the game that I lost. The position was good, the plans were working, it was a hippopotamus, everything was under control, and then I blundered out of nowhere. Which, if you've been following this channel for a while, is a very typical Coach RJ moment to choke. Sometimes your opponent outplays you, right? And sometimes you outplay yourself. I outplay myself. But the good news is that the four games that I won, it were packed with tactics, attacking ideas, and plenty of chicky, chicky, chicky. Yeah, especially the last game that I played. I so love it. So instead of crying over the blunder, in which I had a good plus today, plus 8. So from 2500 close, I am 2508 right now. Let's enjoy and learn from the games. So anyway, time to dive in with me. So let's start with this takeaway game. Um, this is not the first game that I played, but I want to start with this takeaway game. I played a bullet, and I beat a 2600. Look, I mean, it's a big deal for me. No, I mean, not so big deal. It's just like, I know I've been honest with my bullet. I'm not good, so let's see. Sicilian, yeah! This is my legacy. What? Chicky, chicky, chicky. No, 92. Yeah, I think I am one of the very few people who plays this line. So this is my legacy. So the still enclosed chameleon variation that I played against a 2600. Okay, now you may think, Coach, why didn't you play b5 right away? b5 is not good because I have this trap discovered attack. Bloop, and one of the knight will have to say bye bye. So in the game, he played bishop d7 first to defend the knight. Play g4, d5, knight g3, then I c2. Here, he played d6, I just played d5. I took back. My plan is simple, to play g5 and then f6. And he played knight d4, I played g5. Like what I said, that's my plan. It's simple. I took back. He attacked my queen, and I just moved back. Now the knight has no good square, right? He took away the square for his knight, and now he can go to h5, and I just simply took it. I'm up by a pawn. Gave me a check. You know what? Here, during the stream, yeah, or not stream. I didn't. I wasn't streaming when I played this game. I realized, oh dang it, I should have just played f6 first. So the bishop will get stuck here. But anyway, I took, which still makes me winning. And here I played checky poo. They went to h8 and threatening a checkmate. So this is already over. I played bishop h6, threatening a pawn mate, and look at what he did. Ta-da! And now it's time to pawn mate. Chicky, chicky, chicky. Okay, that's just a takeaway game, just to warm things up. And now let's move on to the real game. My first rapid game of the day. I played against a 2200. Yeah, playing against 2200s, 2300s are high risk, low reward thing. So I decided to play the Queen's Gambit declined here, and this is a trap that I usually set up. If opponent just takes this pawn, which is a trap, because you may think it's pinned, right? I'll just take back. And then if it takes my queen, there'll be a bishop to b4. Bloop! And now I'll be up by material. If the queen goes to d2, I have the option to capture it right away, or just simply take the bishop first. Black wins material. That's a great takeaway, right? Okay, going back. He played e3, I played bishop e7, bishop d3, castles, so a normal way to play or continue this line. And here I pause for a few seconds and play knight e4. He took my bishop, took back. He took, knight d2, and then here goes f5. f3. I was surprised with this move, but for me it really makes a lot of sense. Because after I captured, he took with a queen. It's like helping him to develop his queen and then connect his rooks, right? So his next idea is to play rook a e1. There you go. And I just developed my bishop to d7. I would rather develop it here so that I still have control of the e file. And then he decided to move the queen back, in which perhaps he wants to give a check, but and then fork, but it won't really work for the following reasons. Number one, if I block with my bishop, it opens up my queen to defend. Number two, if I just run away, I will always have a skewer and have a grab of his second rank. So those are the compensations. So I play rook a e8, knight f3, then knight to g4. Here I thought I was doing okay. Uh, I took. And during the stream, I was like, oh, dang it. The moment I took, I realized right away that a much better move is f4. Why? Because now this is going to be a good hangout square, or the e3 square is going to be a good hangout square for my knight. Always look for a simple weakness from your opponent's position and try to exploit, and yep, it will give you a much better position. So anyway, I took with a rook. I played queen d6. Took. Then here, after he gave a check, I was setting up a trap. I know he's going to capture this. Yeah, I knew it. So I played bishop e6. He took, and I played bishop c4, attacking his rook. A much better square for his rook is perhaps c1, b1, or a1. d1 is the mistake. That's the blunder. And he did it. And then I played queen 2, f4. Bloop. And this one, I'm threatening the typical smother mate idea. Queen e3, knight f2, knight h3, queen g1, then knight f2 checkmate. And of course, my opponent found it, and the most logical move to defend is to play h3 so that his king will have a escape square on h2 after I give a check on f2. But here this is just over. I play queen e3 check, knight f2, bloop, 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 bloop. Right? It's a fork. Obviously, the rook has to say bye-bye. I gave him a check, because if he blocks, I'll take the knight. And also, I have this idea of, that's why I want his king to be on the first rank, so if he plays something like knight takes d1, I'll just simply play this move. Ta-da! And the knight will fall as well. So anyhow, he took c6, thinking that it's a fork, but it won't really help. I have check. He played king h2. The engine was suggesting knight takes b2 is much better, but yeah, it doesn't really matter what I do here now. It's just a matter of time. So I was trying to trade off pieces. Fast forward. Yeah, just fast forward because this is just gonna be over. Ta-da! Good. It is a good game. A good result for me. And yep, let's move on to the next one. In which, oh geez, I remember. This is the worst game of the day. Yeah, I played against this chess skater. So, yep, I blundered twice. So actually, this is a hippopotamus, I think. So, castles. I mean, he didn't castle, sorry. G5. So I thought I was having a good grip of the position. This is how I really deal with the hippopotamus. And I know the weak squares. This could be a weak square, this could be a weak square, and that's why I move my knight here to have a good way to reroute. So bishop a3, threatening a long-term plan for d6, right? Move back. Now, when I move my knight back, I was aiming for these squares, in which he played knight f6 to defend d5 and f5 at the same time. Here, I played queen c2. He took. I know I was better here. And now, this is the start when I made a mistake. Yeah, I should have just taken this pawn. This is what the engine was suggesting. The reason why I didn't do it is because I thought he has knight takes e4. And then Yeah, I just realized I should have just given him the pawn. He will be up by a pawn, but I will have a good grip or control. He will have a hard time to develop his bishop. So aside from that, d6 is also a weak pawn. So let's say he defends it by playing something like bishop to e5 or rook to d or whatever, right? So bishop e5. Then I just play knight c4, still threatening it. I even have the option to capture the bishop. After it takes with the knight, I take d6. If it takes with a pawn, I'll take the rook. So yeah, I think I'm really doing pretty well here after I place rook d8, then just simply take, and then target the pawn. Yeah, anyhow, anyway. So instead of taking the pawn, I played knight c4. He played rook d8, I played knight 6 d6, he played knight e8. I played knight f5, which is a mistake again. He took, and then d3. I took the knight, took my pawn, took, and then rook ac1 here. I'm just positionally lost. He has different ways to win here. I play rook e2. He played rook d1 check, which is also not bad. I played knight e1. He played bishop f8. Oh wow, the moves that he was playing is crazy. Bishop f8. Let me try to move back. Now it's getting suspicious. Anyway, okay, c1. Let me move back again. What about the move knight e8? Crazy again. Ah, interesting. It is indeed interesting. So, the reason why I kept on moving back because I smell something fishy. But no one really cares. I don't care too. Yeah, knight e8. Interesting. Knight f5. This is obvious. Okay. He played this quick d3. Took. Okay, c1, rook a c8. Yep. Rook e2. Then he decided to play the second best move. I played knight e1. And this one, bishop f8, is crazy. Bishop d4. Yeah, I could have just played. Oh wow. Knight d6. Knight f6 is the same idea. Now I know. Okay, now I know. Anyway, I lost. So this is just over. He could have here. He could have just simply played bishop takes e1 check, and then win my rook. Yeah, this was an easy way for him to win. I know that I was already lost, but anyway, let's just fast forward. Yeah, much better move was bishop e5, but I was already pressured. So fast forward, I blundered again, and then I lost. I got mated. Anyhow, anyway, let's move on from that. Let's go to actually this one. The third game was fast and easy. It was quick. Let me show you. My opponent blundered here. So this is a typical Italian game that was transposed to a what do you call this? Scotch Gambit. And then I castled. He took my pawn, rook e1 pin, capture, knight c3, queen d8. And after I took, my opponent played king e7. I knew this was a mouse flip. He wasn't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was intending to play bishop e7. But here, I just gave him a check and it's over. Knight takes f6. He ran away. I played knight g4, queen d5, knight e5, and then he abandoned the game. That was quick. Just knockout. Anyhow, this game. Fourth game, I played against another chess master. Although his rating is much lower, still his chess master, and he is from Brazil. E4, C5. Ah, chicky. This is my legacy. Yeah, because I'm the only one who plays Sicilian like this. Anyway, um, knight c6. He decided to play the fianchetto. I believe this is the King's Indian attack setup for white. Play knight of 6 or d1 castles. Oh, I had a good display here. There's one I remember the game of Vincent Keimer and Alireza Firouzja under Armageddon match at the Norway chess. Alireza played bishop to g4. Vincent didn't play h3. Vincent played bishop g5 here. But yeah, so I took. Then I played knight d7, opening up my bishop's diagonal, threatening d4. Bishop e3 was played. I played e5, and then knight d4. The opponent moved the bishop back to f3, and after I played queen b6, the threat is obvious, right? I was surprised when my opponent gave the pawn up and just played knight c3. Yeah. You can just simply play queen to d2 to protect or to defend, right? Knight c3 is just like, I don't know. That's why chess players, we all have a weird way of thinking. We have weird thoughts. Why? Yeah, there are things that we can't really explain. So I took queen c2. Capturing my if he captures my queen, I'll just capture back and there'll be a fork, right? So he decided to just play rook c1. I took, and then control the file. And here there's a chess tactic, finishing chess tactic. Not at this moment, but in this game I meant. Rook to the second rank. I want to control the open file. And aside from that, I have this baby threat, b5 to trap the knight. Yeah, of course, trap the knight. And then you play rook d2. I play, control the file. Now my threat is to capture rook c2. Then after the bishop moves, then still play b5. That's one of the traps, right? And he doubled up as well on the d file. Yeah, just to make sure he protects his rook. Then I play b5. He is forced to move the knight back to b2 if he doesn't want it to be taken. And then this is the chess tactics actually that I set up. So, yep, the moment I play rook c2, I already saw that. b5, knight b2, and then knight e2, check, poo. If he captures, I'll just capture back. He played king f2, and then I took the e4 pawn. To open up a bishop's diagonal. If he tries to capture, for example, he captures my knight, I'll just take back. Threatening the rook, he takes me, I take back. Forky dorky. And aside from that, it's a skewer too. Oh, two chess tactics in one shot, right? A fork and a skewer. Anyhow, it didn't happen though. So after I took f4, I think a much better move for him is to just capture back. And then if he does that, I'll just simply play knight c3. Same logic, same idea. If he captures my rook, I'll capture his rook, right? And then I'll win the rook on c2. If he decides to move his rook, let's say rook to e1, then I'll just simply play knight 6 d5. And I'll win another pawn. That's it. Knight f4 is also possible here. And then I will still be able to win this. But it's not that good because the bishop can win the d6 pawn. That's why it's much better to just play knight c3 and then knight 6 d5. Anyhow, anyway. So after I took, my opponent blundered. He played bishop takes a7, in which I just simply hit him with knight c3. Ta-da! And then I took his rook, I took, check, went there. And you know what? During his stream, after I played knight e5, check, Kipu, he resigned, right? He resigned! And then my plan is to capture the bishop on g2, and I pre-moved and then I canceled the pre-move right away because after he takes this one, I don't want to get bashed. To miss another checkmate in one, you know. Checkmate in one. All right. Anyhow, anyway, let's go to the last game. You know, the reason why I won a few games is because my opponent kept on playing the Sicilian. I played the Sicilian as white. I played the Sicilian as black. That's why. Maybe I won games. I felt more comfortable. This one is a great game. Oh! This is my legacy! Okay, that chameleon close variation. G3, Bishop g2, g6. Okay, a typical one. So my opponent played knight d4. I played f4. e5 is not a great move. He gives me the option to play f5, and the dark squares will be weak. Now, coach, what if he captures? Isn't this a free pawn? Because he has more attackers. Yes, he can capture it, but I'll just simply play bishop g5. What if he captures again, coach? Then I'll take his knight on d4 first. After he captures back with either, right? Then I'll take this, and this is PP on a PP, and he has to say bye-bye. That's how it is. Okay? So this is like a Grand Prix setup where white sacrifices a pawn on f5. Anyway, he played pawn to d5, which, wow, it's amazing. He thought for a while. Look, from 925, he thought for 4 minutes, almost roughly, right? I played g4. Although I'm more familiar with this, yeah, I played this when I was young. I started playing it when I was maybe right 12. Yeah. h6. I played knight g3. He played b5. I played g5. He took back. This is pinned now, and then I played knight to d5. PP on the PP. Played queen to d6 to get out of the pin, and then I played c3. Took. And look at this one. Look, everyone. Look. Chicky. Sacrifice for whoop. It took. And of course, the typical, how do you call linear mate? For example, the queen goes somewhere else, okay? Somewhere else. Just have knight e7. He goes to h8 or h7, doesn't matter because I will still play queen h5, and it will be a mate. This is a typical linear mate. Now let me go back. Of course, he found it. He moved it. He moved his queen to b6. I mean, g6 is a blunder because I'll be able to fork the queen and the king. And then I play knight e7 check. King h7, then queen h5 check. Kiboo. He blocked with a bishop, which is logically forced, and here, the engine said a much better move is knight c6 to blockade. Correct. That is actually correct. I also did block the queen by playing pawn to d6. He didn't take yet. He played c4, which is a tricky move. He wants me to go to h1 so he can capture my bishop with a check. In which I said, no, buddy. King h2. He took my pawn, and then I took his bishop. Bloop, 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 bloop. And then he gave a check. I just moved back to h1. Rook b8, and followed by bishop takes c4, and this was already done. I mean, long before that. And then I just took back, and then he resigned. Here I was even thinking, how do I finish? But of course, the simplest finish is to capture. He captures, and then I play rook g1, and this is over. Wow! My Sicilian chameleon is my legacy. Chicky. Okay. All right. I'm the Asian version, just to let you know. He's my favorite streamer, and you know who he is. Anyhow, anyway, again, if you do like the video, please give us a like, subscribe, and share the good chess vibe. Until next time, see you on my next live stream. Bye bye for now.